Alright, so I'm going to go through and review this using long division. Through this problem, I'm also going to review several other things about division with you, with synthetic division, and several other things that can help you with the quiz. First of all, make sure with long division or synthetic division, notice there's a missing x squared term. Make sure you put a 0x squared in. If you're using synthetic division, also make sure you put your 0 in synthetic division. On the outside, we've got x plus 5 we're dividing by. Remember, the only thing that we actually divide here is we take the x to the fourth divided by the x. Remember, when you're doing this, use your simple division rules with exponents. 4 minus 1, that gives you x to the third. Then, just like regular long division, you multiply. X cubed times x is x to the fourth. Notice you're getting some review of multiplication here. X to the third times 5 is 5x to the third. Now you're going to get some review of subtraction. When you subtract both of these, you've got to distribute your negative to this one and to this one. So that makes this cancel out always. The first one will always cancel out. This is going to be 4x cubed and negative 5x cubed, which is negative 1x cubed. Bring down the 0x squared, and then you just repeat the process over and over again. I'm going to go through these next few steps really quickly, but it's just going to be the same process over and over. So negative x cubed divided by x is negative x squared. Negative divided by positive. Then you have negative x squared times x. You get negative x cubed. Negative x squared times 5 is negative 5x squared. Then you're going to subtract again, but remember to distribute your negative to make both of them positive. This one always cancels out. If it doesn't, you're doing it wrong. Then you got 5x squared. Bring down the 16x. Do it again. 5x squared divided by x is going to be 5x. 5x times x is 5x squared. 5x times 5 is 25x. Then you're going to subtract them both again. Make sure you distribute your negative. This becomes canceled out here. This becomes negative 9x. Bring down the negative 35 and do it again. Negative 9x divided by x is negative 9. And now you know you're going to be done here because that x to the first power cancels out. The next one is going to be too low to divide. So then you multiply again. Negative 9 times x is negative 9x. Negative 9 times 5 is going to be negative 45. Subtract both of them, so this becomes positive, this becomes positive. These are going to cancel like they should. This gives me 10, and I know that this is going to be my remainder. The reason I know that is because this is a degree of 0 because it has no x with it. Degree 1, degree 2, degree 3, degree 4. Remember, this is degree 1 on the outside, so once this gets lower than degree 1, you cannot divide anymore. A little extra review for you here. This is degree 0. Remember, they're called a constant. Degree 1 is called linear. Degree 2 is called quadratic. Degree 3 is called cubic. And degree 4 is called a quartic. A little bit of extra review for you. The only other thing I'm going to do here is show you how it works with synthetic division. Remember, synthetic division can only be done when you're dividing by x plus a number or x minus a number. Across the top row of synthetic division, you put your coefficients from your dividend, the thing that's on the inside. 1, 4, 0, 16, and negative 35. Don't forget your 0. Just like you do in long division. You always take the opposite of this guy because of that remainder theorem that says you plug in negative 5 to find your remainder when you're dividing by x plus 5. Bring down the 1, and then all you've got to do is remember to multiply and add, multiply and add. So negative 5 times 1 is negative 5. Add it, you get negative 1. Negative 5 times negative 1 is 5. Add it, you get 5. Negative 5 times 5 is negative 25. Add it, you get negative 9. Negative 5 times negative 9 is positive 45. Add it, you get 10. The last number is always going to be your remainder. These numbers are going to be your coefficients from your quotient. Remember that this guy is always the constant, and then x to the first, x to the second, x to the third, and you could keep going. Or you can always remember, since you're dividing x to the fourth, this first one is always going to be one lower than what you're dividing into. And then you count down using your standard form, highest exponent down to lowest. So notice on this one, it can only be done if you're dividing by x plus a number, x minus a number. This division has to be done when it's something ugly that you're dividing by. You also got a little bit of extra review in with multiplication with distributive property, collecting like terms here, so you got some extra review of that. I went through some of those names of those degrees. And then I also am going to just mention to you that there's some stuff about the end behavior. Remember, even degrees, ends go the same way. Odd degrees, the ends go in opposite direction.